watching this very interesting program on Japanese television about deaf parents of hearing children. And the sign language people speak in Japan is different from the sign language people speak here. So, I can pick some up of what's being said in sign language, but, anyway, my wife, who's Korean by birth and up to the age of 28, she lived there in Korea. She says the Japanese Sign Language is very similar to Korean Sign Language. So she's watching this program with me, and she's appreciating the similarities between Japanese Sign Language and Korean Sign Language. Now, the reason I picked up this phone is, I can watch this program and all kinds of programs, and I understand what's going on. I can feel like part of me is being expressed by whatever's being shown in a program, but I gotta say, man, I'm an old man now. And my experience across my lifetime bears out what I've been saying in these videos over and over, that I am separated from others by their instinctive rejection of me. And it took me a lifetime to figure out what the rejection was all about. This is everybody, deaf, hearing, it doesn't matter. Okay, this is a universal rejection of me. I know, Cal, it's just you. Yeah, it is just me. And I don't think there's a single person in human history like me. I don't think there's one. I don't. So, yeah, it is just me with this problem. It's taken me a lifetime to figure out, and I gotta say, man, I can compare my life up until I was around 14 and then my life ever after. See now, as I've been figuring everything out as an old man, how things changed and why they changed. Well, I was thinking when I started making this recording, I was thinking about this funny show I saw once where this American comedian was playing this character who was supposed to be the Elephant Man. Okay, and it's a man that had like a nose like an elephant's trunk. He was so weird that he was set apart from everybody. Well, maybe there was a real Elephant Man. I faintly recall that there might have actually been somebody with some kind of a physical anomaly like that. But at any rate, the story, if you will, is of somebody separated from everybody else by this bizarre elephant's trunk that the person has for a nose. Okay? And that may be fiction, but what happened to me is that bizarre. And it has set me apart from everybody, man and woman. Man and woman. So, I know sign language, and I can communicate with sign language with deaf people and so on, but I gotta say, it's a universal rejection I've experienced everywhere. Deaf, hearing, educated, uneducated, doesn't matter. And, since I know that this rejection is unmerited and unreasonable and incomprehensible, because the rejection is incomprehensible at a certain point, but I gotta say, I've finally come to understand that what I'm saying about myself is true. So I am separated from others, and by now I realize these are separations that can't be fixed. I say over and over again, okay, to survive in the work world, I had to do things that were completely not me. I could not be myself at all. And so, the idea that I could go to a new country to live and start a new life, I cannot do that worldwide. I cannot. Now, there's only one way out of this mess for me as far as I can see, okay? It is the way offered to me by my wife. She's the one person out of 8 billion on the planet who has accepted me. Now, why has she accepted me? Well, she's been able to get a lot of mileage out of accepting me. Okay, I am not the crazy uncle loony bin trip that America says I am. She knows that. She knew it from the moment she met me. And I've proved it to her and to the world by being her faithful servant now for over 30 years of marriage. Okay, I've gotten her virtually everything she wanted. She's way ahead of most deaf people in the United States in the success she's achieved. But she's achieved it in a way I'm sure she wouldn't have wanted to. I mean, she didn't know that getting married to me was going to set her into like a kind of what I call solitary confinement that I've been in, because people don't accept her because they don't accept me. So by marrying me, she consigned herself over to a life of isolation and rejection. She did. And nevertheless, we have managed to secure ourselves a kind of stable, healthy home environment for hard work and teamwork with each other across the years, and our acceptance of the rejection which has inevitably come our way. Now, if I really were the loony bin trip that America says I am, life might have been a lot better for us. I don't know. I'm not a loony bin trip. I don't have a mental disease of any kind. I never have, and I likely never will. Anybody who examines the things I've done across my lifetime will be able to tell in 5 minutes. The declaration that I was a certified paranoid schizophrenic is ridiculous. It's just completely ridiculous. Anybody will be able to tell that in 5 minutes. So I'm starting to fall into what I call an emotional blackout through anger now. So I better wind this up. However, I wanted to say that I'm able to watch television. Like from inside a bubble, this just occurred to me, like the bubble boy. Somebody who can survive inside that bubble but not outside of it. And as long as I stay in my bubble, accepting the rejection that's out there for me in the world, we're finding ways to work around it. I can survive. It's kind of it's an existence. It's like being in house under house arrest in a kind of solitary confinement. That's what it's like. And it's just been me and my wife. We are completely alone in the world. We virtually have no family, no friends, no anybody. And I'm saying that because I once saw on one of those murder shows where the journalists try to figure out a murder and who was guilty and so on. What was that called? I forget. But I remember one of the chilling examples that they had on was this serial murderer. He watched this young woman's house and he saw that the woman had no friends. She never went anywhere. She went to work, came home, went to her house, stayed there. She never went anywhere. She never had any friends. No one visited her. She never visited anybody. The serial murderer. So he went in there and tortured her and raped her and murdered her. Then he called police and bragged about it. And the last thing I remember, I think I might have changed the channel after that because it was getting so scary. I probably couldn't watch it. This maniac called up the police, and the police were listening to this guy brag about what he'd done. Well, there are folks like that out there, right? And I've just admitted that me and my wife are like that woman. We've been that way for years and years. Well, we've survived, but I am making through videos like this one a last attempt at the end of my life to try to escape this horrific fate that I was propelled into. No fault of mine. Nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with these reasons that everybody's been rejecting me. I'm innocent. It has nothing to do with what they're responding to when they see me. Now, all this may seem very confusing, but I've got lots and lots of videos online explaining exactly what I mean. So, as I say, anything I see on TV, I say, oh, cook, I could do this, I could do all these things. I'm fully capable of doing lots of different things. But I can't do them. I can't do them because other people won't let me. They simply won't. That's as much as I want to say right now. They won't allow it. They won't allow me to be me because what they're seeing when they see their version of me is not me, and they're requiring that I be what they're seeing. And, I'm not even sure what they're seeing, but I'm now convinced that I am broadcasting, not this way, okay? You've got to be person to person with me to understand what I'm talking about. Something like this, these unconscious communications that I may be broadcasting, I'm not sure if they're even visible in this kind of platform. I'm not sure that they're visible. I'm just like everybody else, but I'm not. If you meet me in person, you're going to be responding to all the unconscious broadcasts that I'll be making when we get one-on-one. And, I'm not sure what they all are, but I do know one thing. They get me totally misunderstood. And that includes by all the professionals in that mental prison system, what I call it. And, man, they don't get me either. Wow, are they scary? Because their inability to understand me, oh God. it can have horrific consequences. You don't want to cross them. Those real understanding, nice guys in that mental prison system. You want to cross them. You want to ever disagree with them, say no to them, anything like that. Anyway, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but the professionals in this area are the worst. Not the best. They're the worst people to deal with. They're the kind of people who will say to you, if nobody understands you, is that it? Oh my God. Anyway, I've tried to sketch the gigantic challenge I've faced through my life. And I'm trying to overcome here at the end. I think I hinted that there is a way for me to arrive, so to speak, at somewhat of a decent ending to this life, where I have some self-respect, and I might even escape the identity of crazy uncle. Okay, so I do, and I haven't really expressed what that is, but I hinted that my wife is the one person whose acceptance of me has shown me that there are possibilities out there for me to escape this horrific fate that I've been thrown into. Well, that's as much as I want to say for now. Today is the 7th of June, 2026. The time is 21:47 in Tokyo, Japan.